Oh, hi everyone. Welcome back to yet another learning space, which I call this as a learning space because every time we come up with a session or not only me, with anyone, you find topics which has not been discussed, which is, bringing up as a topic here in this platform. So today's session was inspired by a quote and a book which I've been reading recently. That is, your greatest potential isn't something you're born with, it's something you build. And today we're diving into one of the most empowering books I have read recently, which is Your Hidden Potential by Adam Grant. What if success isn't about talent, but about how you grow? What if your hidden strengths are waiting to be activated? Stay with me till the end. I shall share three science backed tools that can change your approach your goals, and unlock your full potential. Let's just have a deep thought or a food for thought, which is, talent versus potential. Just pause this video if you're watching this video later. You know, talent versus potential. Is talent overrated, or what is your perspective? Hold that in your mind. At any stage or any point of time, growth can be cultivated through persistence, consistency, and discipline. I would like to to this because it differs from individual to individual. These adjectives or these value system can differ from individual to individual. But in this book, the author challenges the idea that talent is everything. He says growth matters more. It is not where you start, but how far you go. I would like to, encourage my listeners or my audience who's listening to this right now or later. Ask yourself with each as the day ends or as the day begins, what did I learn or what I want to learn? Where did I persist? Because many a times in today's age, where with coming with having lot of priorities, lot of commitments for it is different for different individuals, different cities, different regions, different cultures. You have different roles and responsibilities or different priorities, different commitments to be fulfilled. But at the end of the day, sometimes that leads to frustration, isn't it? But in that frustration, in that exhaustion, you find yourself that you are also capable of doing such things, which leads you to the growth stage. Because many a times in any book, if you take up or if you go back to listening a lot of other podcasts or other TED talks or whatever talks which we listen, that struggles are the signs of growth. And frustration is just a part of it, but I wouldn't say it's a weakness to be addressed. I believe even I believe many a times that frustration or this exhaustion shows that you are trying to push your beyond your boundaries. Many a times I have felt that because we all have our comfort zone, we all have our own comfort space, what we like to do as a hobby, as activities, or whatever it is. For many of them, it's different. But every skill or every talent or every competency which we have, at every situation it is being tested. And we all are most of us ask this question every time, that how can I do this better next time? But how do we do that? Through constructive feedback through having cordial conversations with people whom we are comfortable with, whom we trust. But as an individual grows, at every step, that individual needs feedback for growth. Maybe great performers or high performers sometimes ask this question at the very early stage. This is something even I started doing the day I, started reading this book, is that what's that one small thing or that one task, the 2% that I could do better. Many a times we feel we could have done this lot better when we go back thinking about it, right? Many a times. But all of this, what is it trying to teach us? I keep telling my clients or where in the session which I take, that there is no failure, but there's only feedback. If you are in an environment where you're given with feedback, you're given with appreciation, you're being applauded for your work, that fuels your behavior to do more, right? Small tweaks, small changes, but it brings you more better opportunities in the way, right? Maybe sometimes it's a book, or sometimes it is just a word which sparks your mind with an idea, isn't it? So that creates curiosity many a times. This is one, area where I always like that, being curious or being enthusiastic that I want to know something or I want to learn something new. This is a question for the audience. Is there any task or any activity which you want to learn something new? If there is anything, if you would like to unmute yourself and let me know, or put it on the chat window as to what is that one new thing you want to learn. Hi Rajvin, good evening. Would you like to share something?
Okay, new thing I want to learn is this platform has made me very divine in the
Okay,
sense that I have and every platform I join, every platform I host, it's made me divine. So,
great.
because of all the prayers and how do you? I want to know how because I'm such a confident person. How do you actually stay confident and
Okay,
stay confident despite fear? There's some fearful of the future, but how how do you stay confident like most of the time? Thank you.
okay. See, thank you for bringing up this wonderful question. First is confidence is something, it's a muscle that we need to work with that every day, like how we work with our own bodies. Let it be workout, let it be your mind, let it be your meditation, whatever you're doing. Every day, make sure that you do some task which is building your confidence. Because to break the fear or to come out of the fear, the only thing is to face it. There's no other shortcut. But understanding, analyzing, evaluating what is your fear, what is the thought which is creating the fear, start taking baby steps or one step at a time. Do it. You'll slowly start building confidence from there. You don't have to necessarily do anything else to do that. But the only thing is to remove fear is to face it. I'll give you another very simple example. I'm pretty sure many of you who's listening to this right now or who's listening to this later, you all us have wanted just at least in once in a lifetime that you wanted to try bungee jumping or skydiving, right? If you have ever felt that you want to do something like that, when do you jump? When you are on the edge of that fear or on the edge of that anxiety. Otherwise, you are never going to jump. Agree with me, everyone? So it differ, that is how it is. Until you try something new, at least you have tried it. The day you don't try it is when I call it a failure. But the day you have tried it at least once, you know that you have tried. And that itself is a big step. And you need to applaud yourself for that. I like the statement where the book says potential is not in your DNA, but it's in your daily decisions. You don't need to be extraordinary to do extraordinary things. I repeat that statement again. You don't need to be extraordinary to do extraordinary things. Potential is not in your DNA, but is in your daily decisions. Say, for example, you get an opportunity. Just out of fear, you ignore that opportunity. Or you just leave out that opportunity stating that, I have a different commitment, I have other commitments, I don't want to take it up. What will happen? You lose that opportunity because it's always one opportunity leading to another, isn't it? So that's how it is. The moment you start, no matter how you feel, what you do, in what kind of situation you're in life, no matter what, you need to show up. That is something which I still do and I still keep doing it. No matter
Agree
what,
with
I
you.
show up.
Agree with you.
Yes, no matter what, you show up. Say, for example, many a times what happens if somebody's having a mentally a bad day, they choose to not to show up. But sometimes in those kinds of moments only we need to start creating our own sunshines. Maybe you don't have to do it in the regular pace of how you do things. But at least you can take that one small action of taking a guilt-free break. And again, it is our choices if you want to stay in that particular state of mind or in that particular state of emotion. That depends on how you choose. See, I don't know how many of you have noticed that my sessions are very short and crisp. My sessions are very short and crisp. In that stage, if I tell you 10, 15 things, you'll not be able to do. Will you be able to do it? You cannot, right? So that is the difference. So I am saying soft skills is not an option, but it's a necessity these days. It is a necessity because you can have all your academics marks, you can have all these high school topper, college topper, whatever it is, but until you don't have your skill sets, the soft skills, maybe say as simple as confidence, you cannot excel anyway. It is out of my own experience, which I'm telling you. So, um, first thing is always stay curious, try something new. It's not about thinking of the result or the outcome, but it's trying, it's to give it a try. That's the main idea of it, nothing else. Shabana, things you have for me? You want to ask something?
Sorry, there was a background noise, so that's why I was not speaking. So, only thing I think you mentioned very important point, like apart apart from talent, it's important to see the growth, right? And that is very important. But all that is important to recognize. And also the growth may look different in each field. It's not like we have, we have taken a field, then we have to struggle and grow, but rather, as you said, what you are born with, like, what is your life purpose, to find that and aligning that, not like anything that, you just picked up. Because that is where the struggle is. Most people, I think, struggle there.
Yes. I will share a real time or real example which happened in my own life where back to my childhood days when I was studying in my school and doing different things, my teachers, principal, everyone used to come and tell me, you have a very good leadership skill in me. But back then, it didn't make any sense because I couldn't understand what they were trying to say. But they used to call me for, doing MC programs. I used to, sometimes I voluntarily take up roles to do, but sometimes they, appoint me with some roles, take it up and do it. But back then it didn't make any sense, or I was not, maybe I was not in the age where I could understand what it was really bringing in. But I understood one thing that I used to take up whatever opportunities came in my way. But eventually, every opportunity led me to something else. Even when I joined college back into 2015 or 2015, yes, 2015, when I joined college, uh, there was in every college, there's an orientation program which happens. And back then, they asked the whole auditorium as to if anyone wants to come and give a feedback. That too, almost 1,000+ students are there in that one big auditorium. Nobody stood up for it, but I was the only one who stood up there. That I wanted to go give a feedback. And that was my first time where I encountered, facing so much or so big of a crowd in an auditorium. But I didn't know that as a kid or as a child or as an individual, I just used to play with microphones back then. But I didn't know it was shaping my future to what I'm doing right now. I don't know, something is so fascinating about mics or microphones. Somehow. And I like that moment where you stand in that stage on the spotlight holding that mic in your hand. Somehow that also fascinates me, that also excites me many a times. So I'm saying today, with a lot of, I personally say this, that every opportunity has led me to an opportunity. Nothing I do that when I feel a little emotionally down or something, I used to go listen to other people's stories. Then I'll be like, okay, there are a lot more bigger, worse problems than us, what we face. So this is something I would all want to leave all you with, is this one statement that take up whatever comes in your way, give it a try, don't think of the outcome or the result. But every opportunity leads to something bigger and better. So with that, thank you. Yes, Shabana ma'am.
Yeah. No, that was really good. Yeah, I think everyone definitely should take up the opportunity and try to do, your best.
Yes.
Because if you don't put the effort, you will not grow, because that is the only way of growth.
True.
Rajvin, do you want to share?
listening to our trainer Dharshani made me confident, because I was laughing a lot with my students uh, today in National Cancer Society of Malaysia. And of course, after every laughter therapy, I do have catharsis. But listening to Darshini, it's all catharsis has become too confident. Even when I went to the Gurdwara for seminar yesterday, my catharsis became confidence. Thank you. So so uh so this topic is a very, very interesting topic. Congratulations to Darshini on such a beautiful topic. Thank you, Darshini. Thank you, Shabana.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Darshini. Do you want to share more, or shall we wrap up?
I'm good. I'm good. Thank you.
Great. Thank you, Darshini. Thank you, everyone.